And we're live.
Don't live with your parents, guys. They'll barge in the middle of your podcast recording.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Um,
Anyways, this is Politely Parasocial. I'm Alex.
and I'm Bryn. And Alex had a huge accomplishment yesterday.
From a gaming perspective.
Well, yeah, but that's a... God, okay,
I have
fine.
lots of
Belittle
huge
my
accomplishments about
accomplishments.
other things. No,
Okay,
no, no.
fine.
I just don't like, to me that feels small. I mean, it felt big in
Damn,
the moment because it was pissing me
that's the
off, but
point.
that guy was pissing me off. But
God, way to kill the mood. Okay, well, talk about it. Talk
so,
about your
I
tiny, insignificant accomplishment.
for a big gamer moment. It's a big gamer moment. Small life accomplishment. So when did you buy me Hollow Knight? It was years ago.
Oh God, I forgot that I
Um,
bought you Hollow Knight. Yeah, it's definitely been years now.
yeah, it's been at least 2 years. I got the game because Bryn, which is the plot of the episode. That's the plot of the movie. Um, the plot of today's episode is that Bryn has been trying to convert me to being a gamer for years.
Yup.
But a couple years ago, Bryn bought Hollow Knight for me because I had mentioned something about how I really liked the way that the game looked and it was really pretty. And I liked the music and I saw a lot of people talking about it and I wanted to play it. And so Bryn bought me Hollow Knight. I thought that it would be something I would enjoy because I played a lot of platformers in elementary, middle, and high school. Primarily, my engagement with video games is rhythm games and platformers. Um, and so I've never played Metroidvanias and I've never played Souls-like games or anything like that. So I wasn't aware of like that part of it, but I'd seen people playing it. So I was like, oh, it's kind of platformy. Like it's kind of vaguely something I think I could get used to. And it's got
Hmm.
combat in it, but it's not that hard. And this was after I'd played Breath of the Wild. So I was like, okay, I familiarized myself a little bit with the concept of combat in video games. I could probably do this. Uh I that was a little bit of self-gaslighting in that moment in time because up until that point I think I played like 15 video games. I'm now getting closer to the like 50 range, so we're leveling up, but I played like 15 video games. Um and I got stuck in the run up to like a big bug. We're just going to call him a big bug. I in
Hmm.
my mind was like this is a mini boss, and then having watched Bryn play it on stream a couple weeks ago, I was like this is not a mini boss. Um, but in my head, he felt like a mini boss. And I was getting really frustrated by the fact that every time I died, I had to restart back at the bench and go
I
back to where I
think
was.
I think
And
that guy is one of the first real challenges for somebody starting Hollow Knight, right? Like he's just in a big empty room. He's the largest bug you'll see so far. Um, like most bugs do like one damage when they hit you. This guy does two damage. Um, he gets like his own little fight music. It's intimidating to start with.
yeah, and so I was like, oh no, scary. I died a lot. I played the game twice. I rage quit at least twice. I thought I might have started and gone into that section more than twice. And then a couple months later, I played it again. I would give myself breaks because I'm not really a gamer, like a rager when I play video games for the most part. I just like put it down and go back to it
Hmm.
later. But that was the closest I've ever gotten to like yeeting my controller across the room.
Oh,
So I was quite proud of myself yesterday when I
yeah, you
finally
did great.
beat him. Um,
You were like consistently
which is hilarious
improving.
because
You got
yeah,
quicker
I
and
have no
quicker
issue
at the run
playing
back.
Cuphead, which should inspire game rage. Um, yeah, so it was fun. I I do love the game. Like I don't let me rephrase that. I love the aesthetics of the game and the music and
Hmm.
of the story that I know of. I like the story elements. I kind of like it's very kind of spooky, ooky, little philosophical kind of vibe is very much something that I'm interested in. Um, yeah. I struggle a lot because it's quite difficult gameplay for me. It has a lot of mechanics that I'm not used to using, like attacking directionally and things like that. But I do love the fact that it's 2D and that it's very platformy, platformer-ish, which is very
Hmm.
fun for me. And I do like secrets and like finding little things. So that is a fun mechanic for me. I my favorite as Bryn has heard many times before, my favorite video game ever is Little Big Planet, and one of my favorite
Yup.
things about Little Big Planet is the replayability. Which is like, yeah, you have to finish every level or it doesn't save it, but the fact that you can replay every level and each time you play it, you can find something different, assuming you don't know where everything is already.
Hmm.
Which is part of why I loved it so much as a kid, because I played through once and then I played through it again and again and again, until I collected everything or talked to this other thing or grabbed this different like sponge that took me into a different area. And so I like that, and I think I would like Metroidvanias in that regard, and that it's a lot of exploration and
Yeah,
finding little hidden
totally.
areas and things like that. Which I also like that about Mario games and like Donkey Kong Tropical
Hmm.
Freeze has a lot of stuff like that in it too, where you like go backwards or you like go a different direction and it has different stuff.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is technically a Metroid, or yeah, Donkey Kong Country wouldn't be a Metroidvania because like the Metroidvania bit of it is like unlocking new tools that let you go back through the areas you've been before and open things you couldn't before. Um, Donkey Kong Country is like,
Interesting.
you
Little
know, it
Big
takes
Planet
multiple
has a lot
tries.
of that.
Really?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country is less, yeah, it's less like you have to unlock things and go back and replay it,
Hmm.
or go back to different areas. But Little Big Planet has a feature in it where you collect prize bubbles, right? And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
and inside of the bubbles will be like stickers, or they call them decorations. They're like little, like 3D stickers, basically, or clothing items, or things like that. Little Big
Hmm.
Planet has a mechanic in it where if you have a certain sticker and you place it on the like a blank object that doesn't have pattern or something on it that matches the sticker, it will unlock new not content per se. Sometimes it's different areas of the level, sometimes it's just more prize bubbles, sometimes it's like a new level, like a challenge
Hmm.
level.
Interesting.
Um, but it has a kind of similar feature. Yeah, it's not really a Metroidvania because it's definitely a platformer in every other mechanic that it uses. But it does have that type of replayability where you actually do have to go back and replay levels that were
Oh,
previous to whatever you were playing to unlock the rest of the stuff. And then it also has multiplayer features that do the same type of thing. So like sometimes two players will unlock a certain area, sometimes four, it just depends.
cool.
Which I dislike because it means that you can't
Oh.
complete the game 100% unless you have four people playing it with you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but um it wouldn't be such a problem if they hadn't shut down servers. But
Yeah.
now that the servers are shut down, you can only play local co-op, and it pisses me off because I don't even actually know four people that could play it.
Oh.
Um, yeah, like in my general area, I know four people broadly that could play it, and I could do it, but they all live in
Hmm.
different parts of the world, so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I also, I know you were like talking about earlier before we got on what kind of style I like in games, and I think
Hmm.
Little Big Planet and Hollow Knight and like Cuphead are probably like stylistically my favorite games. That's also kind of why I like um Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hmm.
Is that I know that sounds crazy, but the like rough but also or like 2D art that's like very like artistic or like 3D art that looks very like crafty or like put together or like patched together kind of thing is very much my style. That's also why I like
Interesting.
Unravel. Like the aesthetics of Unravel is like one of my favorite aesthetics of the game. Or It Takes Two. Like that's kind of look. I like that kind of look,
Hmm.
that kind of slightly cartoony. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Another game that I always wanted to play is Journey. I think it's called Journey.
Yes.
I'm,
Yes,
I'm
that's
trying to
such a good
remember.
game for you.
Yeah, and I feel like yeah, it's very atmospheric and like you're walking around looking at stuff, collecting things. But I don't know. I generally like that like aesthetic. That's also kind of why I like some Mario games or some Nintendo games. They kind of have that aesthetic. I'm less into the like super 3D realism stuff. I think my exception for that is really Frontiers of Pandora, but largely I'm not. I find most motion capture games to be kind of unsettling because of the way that motion capture is. And even
Hmm.
in Avatar, I mean, we've talked about this in stream before. I've been like, they look weird. Why don't their
Well,
mouths
yeah.
move like the
Yeah.
right way? Um, and I think that in our scrapped episode, we talked a little bit about why I don't like video games as much as I like movies. And I think for me,
Mhm.
that's also where I start to go and shift towards like, well, why don't I just watch a movie?
Yeah,
Um,
that's
because
fair.
the motion capture to me feels like the same type of thing.
Interesting. Okay. Um, okay, so part of what I want to do this episode is figure out the kinds of things that Alex likes in video games and try to come up with kind of like a guide for myself on suggesting games that I think she would like slash like be able to play with motion sickness. um
Yeah, that's the other thing about me. I am highly motion sick.
mhm. Which like very much makes sense to why you prefer 2D stuff or like stuff with not a lot of camera movement. Um, hmm. What are your thoughts
But
on
also, we
Hades?
were talking about I don't really know enough about it other than like I see a lot of people cosplaying it. I don't have strong opinions on it. I
But like the
I have strong opinions on the fan base because I think they're obnoxious. But
I am
the game itself I don't
I
have any strong
desperately
opinions
want to
on.
ask you more about that, but that will completely derail us, and I do have a vague objective for this episode.
We can talk
um,
about why I think the Hades fandom is obnoxious on a different day. And it's largely about the area that I live in's local cosplayers, not necessarily
oh,
like Hades specifically.
interesting. Very
Yeah.
specific local drama. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not the best for the podcast since I don't want to like A, put on blast where I live, or B, put on blast people that know me.
Yeah, yeah. But like the art style of Hades, is that something you like? You surely
Um,
must have seen like
oh
clips
yes.
of the
Yes,
game, like
yes.
the characters, that kind of thing.
I do like the art style. I think I'm kind of put off by it because I was heavily a Percy Jackson kid, and so in my mind I have trouble like separating the concepts of those characters from the way that I have envisioned them since I was 12. But I like the art style of it. I actually
As a
like what I
person
do
in
know of
like
the gameplay and the like premise.
okay,
I
okay.
like.
Um, as a person
Yeah.
who is in like historical literature and art, it is wild to me that you can't get past Percy Jackson's uh depictions of mythological entities.
Yeah, well, there's a reason I'm not a classics major. I I tried. I love I think the other thing for me is I love Greek mythology, but so much of it is wrapped up in my 12-year-old perception of it. Not even just within Percy Jackson, but within the way that I engaged with it when I was in middle school. And so it's hard for me to
Fascinating.
detach whatever opinions or perspectives I developed at that time from it. Um,
Okay,
like I
like
was watching this show called Rome, and I was having the
mhm.
same problem.
Oh
And
no.
that was like an HBO show that had like graphic nudity and violence in it. So I was like, but that's Poseidon. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, do you know
it
anything
is
about
weird.
Poseidon, bestie?
Oh no, I knew a lot. It's just also like I was a Percy Jackson kid the way that everybody else was a Harry Potter kid. So
I mean, same, but like,
it was my life.
same, but like, I expanded beyond Percy Jackson. Like, Percy Jackson got me interested in mythology and
I
like
tried
ancient
hard
Greece and
to.
Rome. And like, Percy Jackson was very much
I think
a
what's funny is that I did it for every other.
every other.
You continue. I
No,
always
you
cut you
go.
off. Go ahead.
No, you go. I don't really have much else to say.
Um, I for me, I was able to separate it from every other like deity collective. There's a word for what those are called,
Pantheon,
but I can't think of it right now.
which ironically is a Greek
Pantheon.
word.
Thank you. I was able to separate it from every other pantheon. Yeah, except for the Greek.
That's
Specifically the
funny.
Greek pantheon, not the Roman pantheon. I didn't have a problem with that. Yeah, it was just that one. I think I don't know. I think it's because I had written so much like in my own head. I'd like written myself into that world, and I was like living in it for so long.
Oh.
I was like, I'm gonna go to Camp Half Blood. Yeah, so like
So,
like
funnily
it broke my
enough,
brain in a way.
your perception of the gods shaped who they were to you, just
Yup,
like in Percy Jackson. Fascinating. Anyway,
yup,
okay, so
yup. I
aside
really
from
internalized that.
aside from the 12-year-old inside you that is stuck in Percy Jackson land, is Hades something that you think you would vibe with? Like, the controls and like the combat and
Yeah,
stuff is definitely something that you would have to get used to, but Hades does a very good job of slowly introducing you to it and making it more and more complex. And I feel like you are the type of person who absolutely would get like locked into finding more about the story and like trying over and over and over again to fight through stuff with different things to get different dialogue and all that kind of shit.
yeah, because I did love that about Undertale. So if it's kind of like that, in
Ooh.
that like different choices reap different results, like I love that. It
Yes
does
and
give me a
no.
little bit of anxiety because I'm like, oh, I don't want to get a bad ending.
Oh, no, so
But
like there's not like a
um,
bad ending or anything. It's just like, you know, cuz all these characters in mythology and they're gods and shit that have been around for forever. So like all of their interpersonal relationships are all over the place. All of the like weapons that you have, all the different like customizations of them, they come from other gods and characters having used them in the past. So like the different like move sets that you can put on a weapon, it's because
I
you're
think I would
using a
like
different god's
that.
version of it. Like there's a spear and sometimes it's the spear that Hades used. Sometimes it's Achilles' spear. Sometimes it's I think eventually you unlock like stuff from different mythological tales beyond the Greek mythology. Like, there's a sword you can use. Sometimes it's Nemesis's sword. Sometimes it's who else? I think like Poseidon's sword, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played original Hades. But then eventually you can get a version of it that's King Arthur's sword. Um, there's a shield that you can use that's
Oh
like,
my God,
um, the like the Aegis, Athena's shield. Um, you can
Athena's
have a
shield.
version
Yeah.
of it that's like I don't know, Primordial Chaos's shield, and then you can get a version of it that is like like Beowulf's shield, um, like wild shit. Um,
Okay.
Oh yeah, one of the weapons is a fucking gun, right? And the other mythology like version of it that you get is Lucifer's,
I
and
gotta
it turns into a
collect that.
laser gun. So like there's all sorts of shit.
The fuck?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
might like it. I think my biggest gripe with most combat-oriented games that I have had, or not even combat-oriented, but with a lot of games that I've recently played, and this applies to like a lot of stuff, is
Mm-hmm.
that, and we've talked about this outside of the show, obviously, but I get immediately easily overwhelmed with the sheer volume of controls that there are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I I don't have a lot of experience with a lot of buttons. Every game that I played up until like the past 4 years has had like 5.5 buttons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and by
So
a lot of
when
buttons,
they're
she
like,
means
you need to use
four.
every single button, um, well, when they give me a like in Frontiers of Pandora, which is the only like AAA game I guess I've ever really played, um,
Technically,
that's like
Nintendo counts as AAA.
mainstream. Like I think I'm genuinely okay. When I think of like major like game developers, producers, whatever, that's not like, console related, I always think of Ubisoft and like Assassin's Creed. That's like the first thing that comes, and Call of Duty. Those are like the first two that like like
That's
immediately come to my
fair. That's
head.
fair.
Occasionally Skyrim comes up in there too. But
That beast.
but anyways, and now more recently Fortnite. But like
A very
the
different kind of beast.
the controls for that, and yeah. The controls for that when I was first playing that game immediately like stressed me out. And they did for a very long time.
Hmm.
And I struggled a lot with the game
I
because of
mean,
it.
like,
And
like,
Bryn can put me on blast right now. But
well, I was
I
about to
didn't know how to
say,
use sights.
like, yeah, like you basically just rediscovered like last week, I think. So I don't remember if we've mentioned this on the podcast, but like we Mondays and Fridays we stream on your channel playing the Frontiers of Pandora game for the avatar, the blue alien avatar. Um and you only like the combat in that game is bows and then the occasional gun or like you throw a spear, right? Um you
It's all
only
ranged.
you only just rediscovered that there is a button to aim. Um, and that was wild to me, but once we talked about it, it made more sense because you're just not used to so many controls and not used to that even being a feature in the games you play. So
Yeah.
like,
Because literally the only combat heavy game I'd ever played was Breath Combat Heavy. And I say that with air quotes because it's really not, right? Um,
mhm,
was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which I use them interchangeably because they have the same exact like combat features
yeah,
almost to a
yeah,
T. They have a couple different mechanics, but largely it functions almost exactly the same.
mhm,
And I that's not a feature in there. Bullet time is what I always used to air quotes aim. And so when I got into Frontiers of Pandora and the bow mechanics were almost exactly the same, I just didn't think about aiming. I was like, meh. Like I've been
yeah.
doing this for what, 3 years without it. This is fine.
Okay, but like
I gotta get this work.
once you realized that that was a thing, like you got so much better at the combat, which absolutely makes sense. Like
Yeah.
you were you were playing on an unintentionally harder mode by like all of your weapons being so much less accurate. Like
And like my vision being objectively further
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Like can't see as good.
It like you always say you're such a bad gamer, but once you understand what's going on and how to do the things you want to do, you get very good very fast. You're good at things. Give yourself credit for it. Notable
I
silence.
have a slow learning curve. I have a slow learning curve, but I get there eventually.
You do. Um, okay, there were some other things that I was going to suggest. So, you remember back when you were listening to the Magnus Archives all the time. The Magnus Archives is a spooky little horror podcast for anybody who doesn't know. Um,
Highly recommend the Magnus Archives.
Absolutely, it is
Spot
incredible.
us.
Like it 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 made me realize how much I
God tier
love
audio content.
horror as a concept and theme. Um, so you remember back when we would listen to the Magnus Archives all the goddamn time, um, that they frequently had ads for something called Fallen London, right? The browser game. Assuming you didn't skip all
I'm
the
gonna be
ads.
so real. I skipped all the ads.
How could
I also
you?
have Spotify Premium and YouTube Premium, so I can.
I also
Also, I was
do,
subscribed to
but
their Patreon, so I was physically giving them money.
okay, yeah, fine. But like on Spotify, like they have ads just baked into their own thing for just their own stuff, like stuff that they, as
I was
Rusty Quill,
listening.
sponsored or not sponsored. We're
They
sponsored
do
by.
not
That's the
have
words.
that on the YouTube Music version of their podcast,
Oh well, I don't have YouTube Music, so I wouldn't know.
actually.
Humph. Um. Okay. Well. Um.
Yeah, I'm one of those
They
people that uses YouTube Music
they did a
that
lot of
don't eat me.
ads for Fail Better Games, who made Fallen London, which was originally a browser game from like it's been around and is still a thing for the last like over a decade, I think. Um, it's incredible. The vibes
Oh,
are
damn.
incredible. The the setting is in like Victorian London. One day the ground split around London. Fucking clouds of bats flew out and blotted out the sun, and London as a city was a lot of the time the term dragged is used, but it fell to below the earth, like so far down that the chasm in which it is in, you can't see the sun. Like the light doesn't reach that far down. Um, and so it's a fun, like spooky environment where they're literally next door to hell and on a sea of a subterranean sea front full of strange creatures. Um, Death is kind of a thing, but not so much. It's very difficult to die, and when you do,
They're in
like,
purgatory.
well, hell does exist. It's entirely a bureaucracy of brass and fire.
Yeah, but like purgatory is like separate from hell in Dante's Inferno. It's like where you go before you go to hell. Or like if you're not quite bad enough to go to hell, you go to purgatory.
It's more like hell is their Canada. Um,
Ah, yes, London, the America of hell.
I mean, they
You have to
they
laugh at my joke.
they were
You have to
certainly.
laugh at my joke.
The reason I'm not laughing is because they. I mean, I guess England was the OG America, being a very you know, a certain kind of way about neighboring cultures and their expansion into them. Um, Thankfully, the invasion of Hell failed. Um, but anyway, it's an incredible vibe. It's their storytelling is very Magnus Archives esque. Um, and I mentioned the original browser game Fallen London because they have made two games like full on separate from a browser video games uh called Sunless Seas and then Sunless Skies, which is set uh a couple decades after Fallen London and Sunless Seas. Um and I think they would absolutely be your shit. Um they're set in the Fallen London world, and also this is just a general recommendation to anybody listening. These games kick ass. Um, they're very like
We are now a
Lovecraftian in
game wrecked
inspiration.
podcast.
Um, the mechanics are you are the captain of a ship on this underground ocean. Um, you're going around just kind of seeing what the hell is out there. You can trade between cities. You can help people on their varying story life paths. There's like now that London is its own kind of wild new force in the world, there's still like political subterfuge, but now involving like people from other countries wanting a piece of London and now hell, and whatever mystical, mysterious things that come from the depths. Um, it's really like just the vibes of the setting are so damn good. Um, like I said, the storytelling is very similar to Magnus Archives in vibe, and the sort of, things in the dark are very similar. Um, the gameplay, you're a captain. It's a top-down view of your little ship going around from place to place. Oftentimes there are large creatures that absolutely dwarf your ship, and you have to either escape or engage or pray they don't see you. Like there are mechanics with like how long you've spent in the dark and how sane you and your crew still are. Um, it's very very fun, and uh, I think it is pretty straightforward to get into. Um, the majority of the mechanics are like moving from place to place and like one or two button presses to like fire a cannon at something. Um, it is a lot of reading if that is something that you don't vibe with. Um, Alex, you read a lot. You're a massive nerd that way, and I don't think
I'm a
that
big
would put
reader.
you
I don't
off
think that will be a
whatsoever.
problem.
Um,
I love a good
I
read.
I don't think there is
Honestly, would play visual novels if more happened.
this is exactly that. Like a lot of visual novel type stuff, but more often than not they they will leave visuals to the imagination. Oh, I almost forgot one of my favorite things about the Fallen London universe. Proper names are rarely ever a thing. It's always a descriptive word and then title or more descriptive noun. Like uh God, I'm of course as soon as I need an example, I'm completely blanking. Um it has been a couple months since I've played one of these games, and of course all of my fun examples of character names are just out the window. Um like they fit the sort of naming scheme of like the mysterious stranger, the suspicious devil, the sullen clayman, um, the nondescript tomb colonist. That shit like that. Like there are distinct characters, but everybody has a title and not a proper name, and it kind of makes everything feel a lot more impermanent. That the setting you're in, the underground and all the more powerful forces that be in it are so much more, you know, solidly extant than you. You're just a speck of dust in this world, and you more will take your place and come and go, and the things in the dark will never notice. It's very good for the way they do their storytelling. I love it a lot. Um, you absolutely should try it. I think you would really enjoy it. Um, yeah, it reminds me of the Magnus Archives so much when I played those games, and you were so incredibly deep into those that podcast.
Oh yeah, I still hard stand the Magnus Archives and all of the
Yeah.
amazing creative people at Rusty Quill. Like
Hmm.
Look, I don't want to get up on my soapbox and be like, this is peak media, but it genuinely is.
It
Like,
is. It absolutely is.
it is probably one of the best pieces of
Like,
media. It has to be media because it's not. It was like drama. I mean, technically it is drama, but like the best pieces of media I've ever consumed.
mhm.
I would put in my top 10 favorite pieces of media ever consumed ever.
If you want something else that is such a similar vibe to that, try the games in the Fallen London like universe. They're exactly that. Um, and then I had one more potential game recommendation that I think you would find interesting. Um, this one is certainly more spooky. Um, I know you like atmospheric horror and less jump scares.
I
Um,
prefer not to be jump scared. My interest in Five Nights at Freddy's is an anomaly.
yes, it absolutely is. You are such a little baby. You're such a little baby, but you love spooky
Yeah, watching people
things.
play this game stresses me out. I like to be spooked, but I like to be on my own terms about being spooked. I don't like something to come up
Hmm.
behind me and grab me to spook me. I like
Yeah.
to willingly walk into the haunted house.
Hmm.
Like, I like the control element of atmospheric horror, I think.
Okay. So, another spooky game for you. Certainly much spookier than anything in the Fallen London universe. Um, is Darkwood. I think they're coming out with, or they recently announced Darkwood 2, which I'm so incredibly excited for. Um, Darkwood is another top-down, like, not quite 2D, it's slightly more than 2D um, game. Uh, you play as a mysterious, trench-coated um, former member of some government organization in a like um post World War II Eastern European style environment. Um,
USSR.
something like that. It is very in rural areas, um, like smaller villages and towns and stuff. Um, the sort of concept of this game is at some point the plants and vegetation and trees of the forests started overgrowing everything at such an impossible rate that it could not be combated. Like you cut your way through the forest and um like you go to bed for the night, it's back like it's grown up again the next day. And eventually like to the point where you're playing in the games, like it's to the point where you could be cutting it down and it's actively regrowing faster than you can cut it away. Um, so to some degree, like broader civilization in this area has more or less collapsed. Like it's just rural villages and whatever the forest hasn't overtaken yet. Um, and things are spooky. Um, sanity is questionable. Um, the people are in many ways, in many places, um, becoming much more part of the forest than any town or village they once lived in. Um, the there is than much more nature than human in this spooky game. Um, and nature's way of taking things back is uh quite dark. Um, as dark as the wood. Um, and your sort of player character is trying to get back to their home, their partner, whoever, mysterious sense of home. Um, and the gameplay is surviving against the increasingly mad people of these forest rural villages, struggling to survive against what nature is creating out of what it is overgrowing, um, and uh, a lot of questioning the reality of the situation. It's very fun and atmospheric. It is also quite spooky. It is a bit of a survival horror, so like you'll have to like find things to heal yourself, find different kinds of tools and like things to like fortify a little base, because every night when the darkness comes, the everything outside wants to get in. And you can like actively try to, set up traps and like defenses. You can like arm yourself and try to fight off anything that comes in. You can just barricade yourself in a room and stay as quiet as you can and hope nothing breaks in. Um, it's
Usually my method.
well,
That's how I played Minecraft. I literally would build myself a dirt house every night, or I'd bury my even better. No dirt house. Forget that. That's way too much effort. Dig a hole straight down and fall into it, and then put dirt over your head
some of the denizens of the woods
and wait
have
till the
tried
growling
that
goes
exact
away.
thing, but even the dirt might not want them there. Um, but yeah,
That
the
was
arts.
that was my middle school Minecraft playbook.
um the art style of these games is very good. It is almost exclusively uh like pencil or charcoal uh color scheme. Um Very detailed, very well done, but very monochromatic and dark. Um your perspective in the game, like I said, it's top down, but you have a cone of vision. And anything not in your cone of vision kind of looks like more of a sketch, more of like what you remember of what's around you. And if an enemy or a living thing just isn't in your cone of vision, it isn't visible on the screen around you. So like you have to be aware of your surroundings, not get too locked into sorting through your items, or like looting a cabinet or something, because there could be things around you. And the sound design of this game is just incredible, because you can tell a lot of what's around you by what you can hear. And what you can see isn't always necessarily the truth of the situation, with some of the more uh, reality questioning things. Um, like like the trees have overgrown everything, right? So not in your vision cone, there's a lot of like the upper canopy of the trees on the screen, and like where paths used to be, you can kind of see that general outline out of your cone of vision. But when you actually look, you can see where the roots have overgrown like the road, where buildings are more dilapidated and falling apart. Um, the way they do the trees is so good. It look like the physical part that's there as like a gameplay object is practically just a stump. But when you can't see around something, it just casts a shadow. So as you're walking around a tree, and like your perspective will slightly change, the shadow will just stretch off in that direction and make the trunk of the tree. So like if you're walking down a path and there's like a grove of trees to your right, it'll look like from your perspective like you're looking up at like tall trees, but it's just the way they do the shadows. It's like I'll have you look at it once we're not streaming, but like it's the it's very artistically and sound design well done, and I really really like it. And the story is very cool too. Um, it seems like it would definitely be more of a spooky survival challenge for you, but I think you would be just fascinated by the unclear story of it.
I think that sounds like something I would like, except for the like survival crafting elements of it, which I think might stress me out.
Those are a lot more straightforward. It's more like Um, it's hard to put into words without showing you. Um, it's not like a survival crafter, really. Not like something like a Minecraft, not like something like Grounded or what are some other survival crafters? I'm sure people who know games have an easier idea of imagining what a survival crafter is. For you, something Minecraft like. Minecraft is like the iconic survival crafter. Some survival crafters go more in depth with mechanics, like more like some more or less realism, um, or just further intricate, detailed building systems and all that. Um, this is a lot more like you can try and find and like cook food to restore your health better, or some things will give you like a little some buff that like makes your vision better, or um makes you take a fraction less damage, or like you can find the parts like you can find like a sturdy branch and an old axe head to make a better melee weapon, right? um say like because there's wood and branches everywhere. Like if you find a good branch, like a sturdy walking stick or something, um, in the ruins of these buildings, you'll find the tool parts that you need to make the tools you need to do things. Um, it's a lot more of a storytelling device than a survival gameplay mechanic, I would say. But I don't know, maybe other people have different opinions and will correct me in chat or the comments, you know? um I do not think it would be too complex for you. And also I would be fascinated to see you play the game, so like if you stream it, or I don't know, if you just let me know when you're playing, I can help with tips.
Okay. Well, I have a laundry list now of things to do.
I mean, that was three things, but
So
sure.
many. So many games to play. Well, yeah, but I still have to finish Cuphead and I still have to finish Hollow Knight. Those are on my
Sure,
top priority
sure.
list.
Based
Although I
on
have wanted to play Hades for a while.
yes,
So
yes. It's such a good game.
that's been in my desire to play for a hot minute.
And honestly, the more things that you play, the better of a sense you'll get when you start a new game for the general vibe and controls and mechanics and like what the game expects of you. Um, you'll get better at starting new games the more games you play.
I'll have to actually put in the work. I have to stop being lazy.
Well, don't worry about that. I am always here and always ready to bully you. I mean, pressure you. I mean, encourage you to try new games.
And on that note, I am exhausted, as we talked about
No,
before we started. And I think
gamer had
that's
a
going to be
long
it for
work
this
day.
episode. Because we Gamer had to go to work. Real work, job work. Had to listen to people in the technology industry talk about how they're implementing AI on internal web design for a
Such a
very long time.
fascinating subject, I'm sure.
It was fascinating, but not for the reasons you would think.
Huh. Interesting.
I learned a lot about people. It was a
Oh,
fun psychological study.
I can see that, yeah.
I, yeah, I have strong opinions about AI that I am not going to talk about on this podcast because I do not want to position myself somewhere that I will regret. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us. If you liked it, you should give us a thumbs up and follow us on Twitch or subscribe to my YouTube channel. We record every Wednesday and upload every Thursday. Usually, if I remember to upload the video on Thursday and I'm not asleep.
And she started
And
gaming on her channel. Like, Like I said,
Yes,
we
I do
stream
games.
Monday, Fridays, and also you've been gaming up a storm on your own too.
I do games now. I also do occasional cosplay content, and I'm hoping to do some more vlog style content once I get back into the beautiful country of Japan. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be all. Thanks, guys.
Have a good week, y'all. Bye.
Bye.